Hello and welcome to the Hibee Buzz. And what a Hibee Buzz we have this week. A very special one because we're joined by our CEO, Ben Kensell. Ben, great to have you on board.
Yeah, fantastic to be on here. And thanks for everything you've done for us so far, Angus. It's been a great show to watch.
Well, that's good news. We want to connect the club with the fans, and I hope we're doing that. And I think by you being on today, you're really setting out your mark that you want to be talking to the fans as well. Plenty on the show this week. We'll have another chance to win some Eden Mill gin. I know how much everybody likes trying to win that. We'll hear from Jack, of course, and some good news from the women's team as well. So much coming on, but let's get back to Ben. Ben, how have you enjoyed it? Firstly, a couple of months into the job.
Yeah, great club. I'm not really new to it because I've been at quite a few other clubs prior to this, Arsenal, Charlton, Norwich. We've had some success and some challenging times at them clubs. So I expect very much the same here. But it's a great club, great foundations, good people at the heart of it. And I have to admit, from players to board members to a lot of fans that I've been able to interact with, I've been really warmly received, and look, it's a great place to be. Edinburgh's a beautiful place to live in as well. So I'm enjoying it.
Excellent stuff. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it so far and getting on with your work. And look, as part of fan engagement, there's some big news this weekend at Easter Road.
Yeah, there is. It's not really my news to share, really, because I feel a little bit of a fraud by sort of delivering it. It's been well known that Ron wants to invest in the match day experience, and the big screens has certainly been something that a lot of people have talked about, along with many initiatives that we're trying to get off the ground here. COVID got in the way of a lot of that, but we're now starting to lift off again. And pleased to announce that the big screens will be in operation for the first time. And they really are quite big. They're quite giant screens with a scoreboard connecting a repeater screen. So it's actually quite an impressive feat of design, quite frankly, to put the screens where they are with scoreboards connecting them and repeater screens. So effectively, everyone in the ground will have a great view of what is placed on the screen. And the screen will have, obviously, match day footage that you're seeing live. It'll have replays. It'll also have various different kind of content that the comms team are putting together. It'll have that emotive kind of lead up to kick off with a video that hopefully charters through our history and gets the hairs on the back of your neck sticking up. It also allows us commercially to sort of have additional inventory that we can use to grow the club financially, that we need to do to obviously reinvest back into the asset, into Easter Road, into HTC. Into fan engagement, or even onto the pitch, quite frankly, so we can get a stronger team that can continue to challenge. So exciting times. I think there is a wow factor to it, and I don't think we should underestimate how forward-thinking and innovative and progressive this club is by this kind of announcement and by this thing going in the ground. It's very rare in Scotland, quite frankly, outside the top two, the Old Firm. Look, we're breaking into that top two at the moment. We haven't been out of it really from the start of the season, and off the pitch we're starting to break into it as well, and it's quite an impressive feat. So I'm hoping fans will enjoy it. I'm hoping it will enhance the matchday atmosphere, and I thank, like everyone else does, the investment from our brilliant owner, and we want that to continue on and off the pitch, and I'm hearing very, very good noises around that will continue with a good return on investment based model. So yeah, looking good.
I mean, that's terrific, because I don't think you can underestimate how much that adds to your experience of being inside the ground. It also gets people in, wanting to be in the ground rather than being somewhere else. So there's commercial value to it, isn't there?
There is. But look, I've listened to fans. I received the comments on the forum for our support liaison, Kieran. We've got to get the basics right on the matchday experience. So we've invested in brand new kiosks this year, and our service levels are not there at the moment. The queues are too long. I'm absolutely privy to some of the things that we're not getting right, and we've got to get the basics right, as well as the razzle dazzle of big screens. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is lift the whole entire experience of coming to Easter Road, make it a fan first environment, and then listen to fans in how we can improve and ensure that match day experience is as good as it can be. And I can't wait till I experience a game under the lights, a proper game under the lights. And I'm sure then big screens will come into the fore then, as soon as the winter months start coming in and we start to see darker match days as we go forward weather-wise. But we're blessed with the weather at the moment, so long may it continue.
Exactly. We've all got those dark winter nights, those long winter nights to look forward to. Look, the club isn't just about the men's senior team or indeed the academy. There's great news for the women's team as well that you can announce.
Yeah, there is. Something that I'm really keen on is becoming an incredibly inclusive community club. So our foundation, our community foundation, does great work in the community. We don't actually amplify that enough. We don't make that aware. We don't make fans aware. We don't make people within the community aware of the great work that they do. Similarly, our ladies team, our women's team actually sits within that organisation. We want to try to integrate that into the actual full team. Under the club banner as soon as we possibly can, and that's something that I'm going to work on. And as part of that, the first step into that is I'm proud to announce that on Wednesday the 29th of this month of September, we will host effectively the women's derby. So whilst we've just been had a really great successful kind of trip to Tynecastle, where quite frankly off the pitch I thought it was a fantastic atmosphere. We want to create that exactly the same at Easter Road for our Hibernian kind of women's team versus the Hearts women's team on Wednesday the 29th of September. And more information will be coming out about that on Monday. But we really want to break a record there. For me, it's really important that we're inclusive, that we support all of our teams. And we played Bayern Munich in a Champions League not qualified, but Champions League match some time ago now, and we didn't quite hit 3,000. And I would love us to get a crowd of over 3,000 at Easter Road under the lights, playing Hearts women, where hopefully we can really celebrate the work and the efforts that our women's team have put in to date. They're also doing fabulously well on the pitch, like our first team are and our men's team are. So we want to support that in every single way, and I'd love our fans to get behind that. So more information will come out on Monday, like I said, and we want to break that record, and we should break that record, and we should be proud of what all of our teams are doing. So I'm spearheading that with the rest of the team, and we're really passionate about making that a permanent fixture if we can moving forward. So. Okay,
so look out for more news, everybody. Next Monday, Ben and his team will have some more news on that match, and get along to Easter Road and make sure you're there to watch and support the ladies. Well, when the men played Hearts, an honourable draw, I think we'll say. I think it put the club in a good position. Unbeaten still domestically.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great run. And let's be completely frank here. I think Jack and the coaching team and the players are doing a phenomenal job at being consistent. And I think, they deserve great plaudits for that. And I think we are being treated to some very good football at the moment. I thought the atmosphere was terrific. I love the 3,500 that we brought. I was almost transfixed on that end. It certainly looked from social media that they were having a lot of fun in the concourse area as well, from the images that I've seen. And look, that's what football's all about. Football is actually, yes, it's about winning, it's about losing, it's about drawing on the pitch, and results matter. But quite frankly, it's about the fans. And I think the overriding sentiment for me following the Tynecastle draw was actually just the fever pitch noise coming out of Tynecastle that day, seeing a derby back, and having our fans, singing our team, so loud. They were so loud. They were so great. And if I'm honest, I was blown away by the support that we had on the day, and just the noise and the volume of it. I thought we did a fantastic job in supporting Jack and the players on the pitch, in almost turning it into a home match. It was fantastic, and it was great to be a part of that fixture. And I can't wait until we play them at Easter Road and beat them then. What I would say is I'm honest, I'm open, I'm transparent. I kind of have quite a door open policy in general, whether that be in the office at HTC, but actually out within the fan base. I like going out and visiting. I like understanding what the concerns are of fans and trying to challenge that and trying to fix that. But I'm also really open to sort of any suggestions and to any things that we're not doing so well. But also, I want it to be a balanced view. I want us to get behind Jack, behind the team, and support us, because we're doing fantastic on the pitch at the moment. And quite frankly, long may that continue. But I want that connection. I want that connection with fans, and I actually think it's a much healthier club when you have a good connection between the management of the football club and its fan base, because we're just custodians ultimately. It's their club. I'm a football fan myself, so I know exactly how I would want my club to be managed, and I would want to be listened as a fan, and that's what I try and bring in the way that we approach the running of this football club. And I know that the owner feels exactly the same.
That's good news, and I think all fans would want to hear that. More from Ben in just a moment, but let's hear from Jack ahead of the St Mirren game, where, well, everything's been going all right so far.
We've been pleased from performance level. Feels as if it's been good. Feels as if we've made improvements from last season, which is important that you keep progressing. I think overall record, I think we're 10 games in, including European games, I think just 1 defeat in the 10, which is good. I said we want to always strive to be better, so we could have won every league game. We could have continued to progress in Europe, but certainly as that evolution of the squad, I think, continued this season from last again. Our experience obviously playing in the derby last week, I think it's evident as to how Hearts have strengthened for the return to the Premiership, how competitive they'll be in the league. Already touched upon our improvement. Celtic Rangers obviously continue to be strong. I think it's a highly competitive Premiership, but hopefully a good quality Premiership as well. I think a lot of the games so far have been good.
Well, St Mirren, that next game for us, Saturday, Easter Road, and we're getting back to normality a bit now, Ben.
Yeah, we are, and do you know what? It's been a long time coming, but the match, along with the big screens, along with the repeater screens, like we've discussed, so everyone will get that kind of view within the stadium. We're going to have a lot of exciting content on there. Please bear with us because it's our first time of doing this, but we've got some experienced, excellent guys in our comms team that are pulling all of that together. And I think fans will be genuinely pleased by seeing that. It's our first Hibs Kids game back in full capacity since obviously pre-COVID. So we're excited about that. The return of our brilliant mascots. So that opportunity is now live again. So we encourage anyone that wants to get involved with that to sort of contact the club. But it's just great to see, Angus, more kind of fanfare, more fan engagement and positivity around our match day experience. We're a community club at the end of the day, and we want to try to bring that community piece within to our match day. And it's been a little sterile up to this time, quite rightly so, for the safety of all. But we want to try and introduce things as quickly as possible, as does every club up and down the country. And tomorrow, St Mirren really marks the point in which I can see it starting to come to life again.
Well, it's great news, and the more success we have on the pitch or as a community club, the more people want to be involved. And actually, there will be a recruitment drive off the pitch shortly.
Yeah, there were exciting times from my perspective. We've obviously pre-COVID, there was a lot of changes at the club, and since I've come in, I've been able to structurally change some of the things and some of the initiatives that we want to do. And we want to grow as a club. When we benchmark against other clubs within the league, we needed to grow our internal staffing base. So fans may see a lot of adverts coming out for new recruits required across a raft of different departments that we are recruiting for, whether that may be HTC, whether it might be Easter Road. A lot of the adverts you'll see are predominantly at Easter Road, whether they're in sales areas, whether they're in comms areas, catering areas, operational staffing that we need. It's definitely a drive to sort of beef up and staff up our requirements so that we can grow the club appropriately. And I actually think it should be deemed a positive. It certainly doesn't detract from anything we're doing on the pitch. It only adds to trying to build the club that I certainly want us to be in the fullness of time. That will take time. We have to recruit the right people. We have to get, obviously, people that really care as deeply as we do about the club to try to take it to the next level. So that's a really exciting thing that's going to happen. But it will take probably 6 months to come to fruition. By the time you bring people on board, you need to give them time to settle in, and then we can start to see the fruits of their labour. And
do you set yourself goals, Ben? Do you plan out a sort of 5-year strategy, 3-year strategy? How do you work it?
Yeah, interestingly, yesterday, I'll give you Thursday, there was a staff meeting where I set out a 3-year plan for the football club. But there is an internal document, I might add, and it points out serious KPIs that we want to hit, both on the footballing side, on the non-footballing side. It's very, very kind of appropriate for me as CEO to sort of set the tone from a visions, values perspective, from the budgets, moving forward, from ultimately expectations around where we want to get to and by when, and some of them are stretch targets as well. So it's ultimately, we're running a business, but we're running the best business in the world, because it involves fans and it involves football, and it involves so many different assets and functions under the one business. I'm blessed to be given the opportunity. And I'm very thankful, and it's a fabulous club to lead. So I'm working all the hours I can, and I'm loving every minute.
Good man. And when Saturday comes and you're there building up to the game, what are your feelings on a match day? I mean, you've got so many different sort of departments effectively to be thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, the focus is on the football, clearly, when it kicks off. But quite frankly, before that, the focus is on the venue, and the focus is on, are we being the best version of ourselves? And at the moment, I can safely say we're probably not. And the staff know that, and we know that as a venue, and we've got to improve. And speaking with Kieran, speaking with the fans, I know that they are patient, and I appreciate their patience, because like any club, we want to be better at what we do, but it's a big venue. It's a lot of people, and people come in at usually at about 5 to 3, which doesn't make it easy. But from our perspective, we need to constantly look to improve in every asset, in every area. So I'm always on that. I think the staff understand that now, and that will only drive a kind of a higher level of performance across the whole of the business. And then when it comes to kickoff, if I'm honest, I sit back and relax, because quite frankly, I think we've got some of the best in the business in Jack and the management team. And it's a joy to watch at the moment, some of the football we've been playing, even the last home match. I mean, the 2 goals were fantastic goals, and from 2 fantastic players. So it's enjoyable to watch. And then post-match, I generally tend to try and get around the lounges and see as many people as I can, and make sure that we're as visible as we can be.
More from Ben in just a moment. We had such good feedback about the interview with Mixu Paatelainen, a club legend, last week, about his reminiscences about the Edinburgh Derby. We thought we'd give you the chance to hear from him again. So here is Mixu out in Hong Kong, and his thoughts about the future.
Quite often people come to me and big man, I just watched the 6-2 goals and the highlights and blah, blah, blah. And I said, keep watching it. Brilliant. Great. And so it's people come and remind and still watch the highlights of that game.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Do you still keep an eye out, see what Hibernian are doing?
Of course I do. Every result, I'm there. I want Hibs to do well. After 4 matches, it's been a fantastic start to the season. It is early doors, but it is a good start. So hopefully that gives the boys a lot of confidence. And absolutely, Hibs is close to my heart, and always look out for the result, and wherever I am, all over the world, and all that. But my home is still in Scotland, so I'm not too far. But it's recently I've been working abroad, but now I'm doing my rehab in Scotland, and it's good to be back here.
Just kind of finally, you said obviously you're doing your rehab. You had a coaching job at Hong Kong. What's next for you? Is that the kind of line of work you want to get straight back into once you've finished your rehab with your knees?
Well, Eventually, yes. I love coaching. I love management. Given an opportunity of a good challenge, definitely that is something that I'm keen on doing. But in the meantime, I work for UEFA. Also, I work at the Euro as a technical observer, one of the members of the observers group. Same applies now with the Champions League. So the first round, I've got a match to analyze and do a report how teams play tactically, defensively, offensively, transitions, plays, coaching decisions, goals, why the goals were scored, and stuff like that. So it is quite deep analysis of the match, and so I enjoy obviously doing that. So every round of the Champions League, I'll be assigned to a match and analyze that and do a report, and so I'm looking forward to that, and obviously seeing the top football, seeing the latest trends and development of how the top teams develop their game, from the individual positions to the team tactics. That is great. But like I said, once I'm back in walking pain-free and ready, then I look for the next challenge, wherever that might be. But until that, I stay in Scotland and enjoy Scottish rain.
So Ben, ultimately, I suppose you and the club gets judged by what happens on the pitch, doesn't it? The players that you can recruit and the players that you can keep. And I think the fans will be happy with, what you've been able to do during this transfer window. Yeah.
Look, the transfer window should be reviewed appropriately, and we'll do that internally. Obviously, there were challenges that were well documented, but equally, I think when you review it, we got some quality players in. For me now, actually, the interesting part of my job is really sort of understanding the strategy moving forward and actually directing the strategy very much with Jack. And for me, we've got some fantastic players in our squad at the moment, and we're building something here. And the foundations around that are really important for me. What we want our players to perform at the maximum and at the highest level that they possibly can. But actually, we also want them to stay at Hibernian and make sure that we can build teams around them. And our recruitment should be about adding, not wholesale changes. It should be about adding to an already established strategy that we've got in place. So we're doing a lot of work on that at the moment, and I actually think we're in a good place. So what we want to do is focus on renewals, focus on ensuring that we keep our best players at the club, build a team around them.
And how much are you looking to the youth of the future?
Yeah, it's a key part of our strategy that I've pointed out. For me, it has to be our model. We have to bring young players through. We have to develop them. Jack does a great job of doing that. I think that's probably one of his strongest traits in terms of improving players when they come in the door to when they play on the pitch, to when they potentially leave us. Ultimately, as a club, I think we've got a really clear plan around how we want to sort of add to our squad with younger players. We want to give young players an opportunity, a pathway through, whether it be our academy or for our recruitment strategy, ensuring that we bring players that can come in, develop, add to the first team environment, and then without a shadow of a doubt, they are beneficial to the club and desirable to other clubs. So that means that we can be quite robust with our business.
Ben, it's great to have you on board, and thank you. We really appreciate your time. And I know, as a fan myself, how important it is to hear a club's vision from the CEO, because effectively you're pulling the strings with the owner and the strategy for the future, and the fans just want to know that they're all in safe hands.
No, that's very good of you. Thank you. I mean, to be quite honest, I'm only as good as the team that we've got around us. And look, we set a strategy together. I'm certainly not the type of leader that wouldn't do people in tow. So we'll do our very best for the fans, and it won't be for the want of not putting in maximum and 100% effort. So no, thanks for the opportunity to come on. That's great, Ben. Thank you very much indeed. We hope to have you on again in the future. Let me just say about our competition this week. We had one last week for that Eden Mill Match Day Gin. Congratulations to Lee Miller. You were our winner last week. We'll get in touch with you
and give you your bottle. And we're giving another bottle of Eden Mill Matchday Gin away this week. All you have to do is comment below this video ahead with your thoughts of the St Mirren match ahead coming up this weekend. So that's all you have to do for your chance. I've been Angus Scott. Thank you to the team. Thank you again to Ben. It's been terrific to hear from you. And we will be seeing you all next week.